We'll just let that go. They would give you 6. Just 6. Just 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you've outright said some of them. And some of them you've hinted at. You're really close, but the wording's a little different. So, you know what the number 1 is? This is where I feel like it should be a drum roll and a Dave Letterman kind of like top 10. Yeah. The number 1 thing all living things have in common is... What do you think? I don't think you said this.
Organs.
You're so close. That's actually related to number 2. It's not number 2, but it's related. You're not going to believe number 2. You're going to be all alarmed by number 2. Cells. Isn't it boring? I know, all that buildup. Every living thing is made of cells. If it doesn't have cells, it's not a living thing. Period. They are the basic, fundamental, structural unit of life. Number 2. So I said Brandon was related. You're not going to believe this. I don't believe this when I look at my own car. Organized. You know what that means? It means you're organized. So the next time your mom or your dad or your aunt or your grandma says like, oh my God, I can't believe how disorganized you are, you're like, no, I am super organized. I am so efficiently organized that I am able to pull oxygen out of the environment and convert it to sugars for the cell in my finger. That's pretty organized. You ever have a big job to do that requires a lot of people? Okay. Does it take some level of organization to get it done? Like moving day, helping your friends move. Okay, you two go get pizza. You guys pack up boxes. You unpack the clothes. You drive the van. It takes multiple people doing the job. All the functions that all living things are carrying out require coordinated efforts from lots of different moving parts. That's a huge level of organization. That's enormous. All living things show evidence of organized activity. Your cells are organized into tissues, like muscle tissue. Your tissues are organized into organs. Like muscle tissue makes up that really convenient organ in the middle of your body that keeps doing this all day long without you thinking about it. Your heart. Okay, number 3. Drum roll. No, don't drum roll. But you guys basically said this. In other words, you said it sort of here. You said it sort of somewhere we said eat. It's use energy. Where do you get your energy? Food. Calories. Calories are energy. A tub of ice cream has more energy in it than a bag of carrots. Calories are just a measure of energy. So an average, sort of roughly adult-sized human teenager such as yourself probably needs somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 units of energy per day. Yeah, it is. It's amazingly easy to achieve if you're eating like Big Macs. Doesn't take a whole lot. So the number of calories you need, that's your energy input. How you get it is the different matter. You can get it from all carrots and celery. You can get it from all ice cream. It's going to take more of one than the other. How do trees get their energy? How do they get their calories? Sunlight. Any of you ever sit around on a nice summer evening around a pile of sunlight just being re-released, possibly while toasting marshmallows? What are you doing when you do that? Sitting around a campfire. Because what is that light? What is that heat? It's sunlight. You're releasing stored solar energy.
What? From the campfire?
Yeah.
So that's for eating the plants?
Yeah. Because the trees use the sun to build their bodies.
I thought only the sun could feed the plants.
No, the sun feeds the plants.
Yeah, but I didn't think...
Oh, no. You're saying... Okay, I see what you're saying. I misunderstood. So you're asking, can that energy from the bonfire provide light for plants?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you had no other source of light for plants, can they live on artificial light? Yeah, they can. Because light is light. So, in essence. Slightly different wavelengths, but yeah, it's light, so they could feed on it. But yeah, you're just releasing heat and light energy that was originally from the sun. That's all you're doing. You can say that next time you're sitting around a bonfire with your family, like, oh, that solar energy feels so good. They'll think you're weird. That's okay. My family thought I was weird for a long time. Number 4 is the one that not one single class or student has ever gotten. You may not have even heard this word. However, your responses hinted at it. Because you know it's there, you just don't know how to say it because you haven't heard this word yet. This word is weird. Homeostasis. And yeah, we're going to, Okay, so I heard it already, and that's good. What does the prefix homeo mean? Homeo, homo, same. Yes, how do you remember that? Of course that's how you remember it, because if you are homosexual, you are attracted to people whose genitals are the same as yours. Hetero means different, because if you are heterosexual, you are attracted to people whose genitals are different than yours. Same and different. That's how you remember it. Of course it is. Homeo, homo, that means same. What does stasis sound like? Stable? Steady? Homeostasis is the fact that all living things have to have the same conditions. They got to be stable. They can't change their temperature too radically. They can't change their water content too radically. What happens if you take a tropical plant and throw it out on the porch in January? It dies real fast.
Why?
Because it can't deal with that temperature. It has a limited range of temperatures in which it can exist. Can't do it in the cold. What if I throw you out on the front porch in January with no coat on? You shiver. Why do you shiver? To warm up your guts. Because your guts have to stay at a certain temperature or you will die. If your guts, your internal core temperature gets below about 86 Fahrenheit, you die. There's no coming back from that. It's called hypothermia, yeah. If your guts, your 86 Fahrenheit.
That's hot outside.
It's hot outside, but remember that your core temperature is about 98. So a 12-degree drop in core temperature will kill you. If you get up over about 112, 113 Fahrenheit core temperature, you die. You die. Your body can't handle it because your body is doing everything it can to keep all of this, your important organs, they call it your vital organs, at around 98. So you shiver to warm up your guts. You sweat to cool your blood down. Yeah. You're cooling your blood down. That's what you're doing. We'll talk about rabbit ears later. Those are a great cool. They're a great radiator. You can take an ice bath, but if you drop your core temp under 86, you die. Well, now, interestingly enough, has anybody ever had a younger sibling who had a really high fever? Little kids are really prone to, like, super high fevers. And when I was a kid, anyway, I don't know if they recommend this or not anymore, because my daughter, thank goodness, we didn't have to deal with this. Usually if a kid gets up over around 104, 105, they say ice bath, because you've got to start bringing that temperature down. I think it's 108 where you start to see brain damage, and 113 where you die. Yeah, a high enough fever can damage your brain, because the blood, it's like a radiator in your car. Your blood is the cooling fluid, along with other things. I mean, it's also transporting oxygen and doing other stuff, but the blood is also the coolant. And so the blood is absorbing heat from the organs here and dissipating it out in the little radiator fins on the end of your hands. So, what happens when your hands get cold? They get white. You can't feel them anymore because there's no blood flowing to them because your body goes, whoa, 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 let's not cool that blood off so much. What happens when it's really hot out? Your hands get all puffy and red because you got extra blood flow. These are radiator fins, guys. So are your ears. Those are radiator fins. Rabbit's ears are great radiators. Okay, so you got to maintain stable conditions. So do bacteria. So do plants. So do everything. Number 5, this is easy. You got this one. Growth. All living things are able to grow. Bacteria grow, you grow, trees grow, plants grow, fish grow, birds grow. Every living thing grows, period. The last one you got, what is it? What haven't we covered here?
Sense of food?
Reproduce. We haven't said reproduce yet. So here's the deal. We got a rover on Mars right now. We've been looking at Mars for a long time. What's one of the big questions? Is there life on Mars? When that rover finds something, the checklist that they are using to determine whether that thing they're looking at is living or not is this. Can we see cellular structures? Do we see evidence of organized activity? Can we see evidence of energy use, which is hard to see? Do we see evidence that if it's subjected to differing conditions, it dies or attempts to adjust? Do we see evidence of growth? Can it reproduce? So if it doesn't meet these 6 criteria, it's not alive. Question, Brandon.
Why can't you just take a plant up there to Mars and let it grow?
Because it wouldn't have what it needs. It wouldn't have enough CO2. It wouldn't have the right nutrients.
Throw a bonfire and it would feed it to...
Well, the problem isn't the light. You get plenty of light on Mars, but that's not all they need. They also need water and nutrients and a certain gas mixture.
Oh, I thought the nutrients just came from the sun.
No. They also require minerals, so from the soil. But good question. So here's a question. COVID, coronavirus. Are viruses alive?
Yes.
So let's go down the checklist. Viruses are not made of cells. It looks a lot like a cell, but it's not actually a true cell.
Made of organisms, right?
No, organism just means a living thing. So a virus is made of like a protein capsule with a few moving parts, but it's not a true cell. Are they organized? Do they show organized activity? Yes, they do. Do they use energy? Yeah, minimally, but yeah, they do. Do they require homeostasis? Can you kill a virus by making it too hot or too cold? Yeah, you can. Do they grow? Yeah, they do. Can they reproduce themselves?
Yes.
No.
Why can't they?
They don't have the equipment.
What do you mean?
They are not able to reproduce themselves. We're going to talk about what it takes for a cell to reproduce a little later. Viruses can't do it. You know how they do it? They hijack your cells.
That's what I was about to say.
They can't reproduce themselves. They require you to do it for them. They are unable to reproduce themselves, so they're not considered living things. It's kind of crazy. So now, we're going to stop this discussion.